What is up, everyone? And recently a free-to-play indie game was just released that may have gone under a number of viewers' radar, and that game is called Splitgate. And I've been playing it more and more, and it really seems to harken back to early 2000s shooters, making it rather unique in 2019. So, should you play Splitgate in 2019? So, what makes this game so unique? Well, it's because it takes a bunch of parts from some classic games such as Quake, Halo, and Portal, and blends them together to make one of my favorite games in recent years. This game has the movement/shooting of Unreal Tournament and Quake, the weapon and map design of Halo, and the portals from, well, the Portal series, and they mostly all blend together really good. So let's go more in depth with the positives of this game. Starting with the movement. This game does not have sprint, but you do have a rather fast running pace, which is somewhat similar to the modern Doom games. And you also have a jetpack and portals for getting around the map, which makes the game move a lot faster pace than you would expect. Also, having good map knowledge can really help you make some awesome plays with the portals. Such as this one I have while playing King of the Hill, where I flank the enemies that are on the point by going through a portal that I shot above them. And moments like this are where the game really shines, as it helps separate the people who are good at shooters and the people who are good at Splitgate. But this does not mean that if you can't use the portals very well, that you will suck at the game, because if you are good with the weapons, you can still pull off some pretty high kill games. So how are the weapons? Well, they have a similar sandbox to the first few Halo games, with a lot of the same weapons such as the shotgun, assault rifle, battle rifle, rocket launcher, and SMG. And on a side note, a lot of the terminology in this game is very similar to Halo, with almost all of the game modes being the exact same, such as Oddball and SWAT, and Team Deathmatch instead of Slayer, but you catch my drift, a lot of the terminology is the same. And while I'm talking about stuff similar to Halo, let's talk about the maps, as a lot of them feel very similar to Halo maps that were in Halo 2, especially Midship and Sanctuary, but they are not just carbon copied maps, as they do feel like they were inspired by them, but not copies of them. And then they add a bunch of portal surfaces to them, which makes them even more unique to play through. Speaking of portal surfaces, how do they work? Basically, you cannot put portals anywhere you want, and you have to put them on to these walls that have kind of this blue hexagon pattern to them, which I think is a good choice, as it would lead to some really frustrating moments if you could put the portals on any surface that you wanted to, and it would probably break the game, so I do respect their decision to do this. This decision also helps increase the skill gap, as people that have good map knowledge are much better at using the portals than people that just kind of spray them in random directions. Also, you can only see through your own portals, with other people's portals just being solid colors, that while you can still go through, you are going into them blindly. This is nice, I think, as it helps slow down the game slightly, as while you could just chase someone into their portal, it would be a pretty bad move, as they could see you coming, leaving them with a pretty big advantage. And just before I go on to the negatives, let's just go through some other good things, such as the customization, being very similar to Halo 3, with a number of options that, while not the most customization ever in a game, it's still a lot more than most games out right now. Also, while yes, this game does have loot boxes, they are cosmetic only, which, because it's a free game, I am kind of okay with. So, let's move on to the negatives. Basically, while the weapon sandbox is good, the actual shooting is kind of meh. None of the guns feel like they pack that much of a punch, with even the rocket launcher and shotgun not feeling that powerful when you shoot them. That's not to say that they aren't balanced, and I know this is how a lot of old school PC games played, like Quake and Unreal Tournament, but with this game using Halo's weapon sandbox, I was really hoping that these weapons would feel like they were packing much more of a punch. Another smaller negative is that you only have the option of ranked and unranked playlists, without an option to play specific game modes through matchmaking, while you can choose to join different servers, which sucks, as sometimes I just want to play Team Deathmatch, not King of the Hill or Capture the Flag, and I don't really want to join a game that's in the middle of a game already through the server browser. But this is a much smaller problem that is not that big of a deal, as all the game modes are still very fun to play. I'm just saying it would be very nice to have the option to choose specific game modes, maybe somewhat similar to how the Master Chief Collection does it, where you set your parameters for what game modes you like to be selected into, and then you kind of just play through that. Then, rounding off my problems with this game is how they do microtransactions. And while I praise the game for using cosmetic only ones, I still do not like that you are only allowed to get cosmetics through loot boxes, when I was hoping for more of an unlock system where you could choose what you wanted to buy. But that is really all that I have to say with this game. While it definitely has some problems, I think that its unique, fast-paced gameplay and good maps overshadow the negatives, creating a very fun free-to-play game that I definitely think you should play, or at least try. I mean, it doesn't take up that much space, it's not very hard to run, and again, it's free to play. Even though I do understand that since it is only on PC, that if you're on consoles, you're kind of out of luck. I don't know if they have a console port coming soon, but I really hope they do, as it'd be a shame to miss out on this game. So that is all I have for this video, and I would love to hear your thoughts on it in the comments down below. And until next time, goodbye.